Hi everybody, this is a quick little video about the annotated bibliography, and the nice thing is that for the study review paper you've already seen a video about how to find articles. So if by chance you skipped that video and you're wondering about how to find articles for your bibliography, you should watch that video in the study review paper part of this course. So here's the assignment. So it's right here. This is actually the assignment right here. And I can click into it. And you can see it's worth 20 points. And it's due Sunday, September 26th. So you have almost 3 weeks to do it. Looks like it's about 19 days. So if you want to work ahead, you certainly can. I think before I get into the details, I'll say what this is about. So the annotated bibliography is meant to get you to have a good start on your change proposal. So for your change proposal, you need some literature to help build your arguments that's in your change proposal. So this assignment is intended to get you off to a good start, to give you at least 5 articles that you can use for your paper. You certainly might use more, but at least this is a good starting point. Also, one reason to do this is it will help narrow your topic. And so if you remember when I made the video about selecting a topic for your paper, that a lot of you obviously will have a more general topic. That's just natural. You're not quite sure what you want to do, but you have a general idea that you want to do substance abuse in adolescence, for example. That's fine. Obviously, your paper is going to be more focused, but you really won't know where you want to focus until you start reading stuff. And so this assignment is there to help you read some stuff and to help you get a focus for your paper early on. So that's the reason why we're doing it. And just like it says here, submit 5 articles relevant to your change proposal topic. Make sure you have a reference in APA style. So an annotated bibliography, what you should do is for each of your 5 articles, the first thing that should be there is the citation. I shouldn't say citation, it's the reference. It's not the citation, it's the reference. And then typically what you do in a bibliography, in an annotated bibliography, you have indents left and right. And then you are going to review things, which is going to be down here. So that's the format. So reference, indent your annotations. And again, we'll get to the annotations in a second. But we're going to take this in order. So you have to reference it. Your reference should be in APA style. And the APA style referencing is strict in this class. And so there's a link there. You can see there's a link. So if you're not familiar with the APA style, there's a nice website that will help you. So for most of you, you're going to be doing journal articles. So a journal article will have this format for the reference. So notice there's an indent there. So the format is authors. So last name of the author followed by their initials. Commas in between last name and initials and between different people's names, with the last person on the list having an ampersand before their last name. Notice the period there. And then you have the year in parentheses, the year of the publication in parentheses with a period after the parentheses. And then this is the title of the article. So that's the title of the article. Notice that there's only capitals for the first word. First word in the title and also the first word after a colon. Everything else is small letters except things like proper nouns. So that's the title of the article. You have a period here at the end. Then in Italics, this is the journal's name. Notice that everything is capitalized except for things like of, and, etc. Again, it's in italics. There's a comma after the journal name. In italics, you're going to have the volume number in italics, and then no space, in parentheses, not italicized, is the issue number. So volume number by issue, followed by issue number. Then there's a comma, and then there's the pages of the article. Make sure you list all the pages. This brings me to a quick comment, which is oftentimes people cut and paste. So they'll say things like, oh, this is in the academic search complete, the citation, or in the Google Scholar, there's the quote thing that if I click on that, it will give you the different citation formats for the article. If you cut and paste, double check. So many of those things that people cut and paste have APA errors. One example of that, and this is why that reminded me of it, is that they'll have like the first page but not the full page list. So if you cut and paste, do it at your own peril and double check. Double check that there's no APA mistakes, because there's often APA mistakes in those citations. And then you end with a DOI. So most recent articles will have a DOI listed on the article itself. If you don't find it there, the DOI should be listed in the citation that you got the article from. So if you searched on Google Scholar or in the Academic Search Complete, there should be a DOI listed there. If it's not, what you can do is take the title and just Google search it. It doesn't have to be Scholar, just Google search it. It will probably give you a link to that article through the publisher. So again, put the title of the article, do a standard Google search on it, and it will probably give you a hit to the page for that article from the publisher, from that journal. If you click on that, 99.9% of the times, it's going to have a DOI on that also. So those are 3 different ways to find the DOI. Find it on the article, especially newer art. When I say newer, probably the last 10, 20 years. If you don't find it there, look in the place that you found the article, whether it's Google Scholar or CWI's library, they should have the DOI listed there. If it's not there, take the title, cut and paste it into a standard Google search. You'll probably get a hit for that article from the publisher, and that page will have a DOI on it. So don't forget the DOI. So that's how you cite journal articles. So most of you will have journal articles, and I'll actually will encourage you to have journal articles. If you find an excellent book or a book chapter, you can actually go backwards on this. So you can see that there's journal articles, and I have a link for this because that's the most common thing people will be using. But if you have a book, just simply go to examples here. So see examples, click that. And a book is a text work, you can click that. So you can see here there's a whole thing about books. So you can click this and get the book reference. So you can see the whole book. There's an edited book, republished book, etc. The other type of source that you might have, so journal articles probably should be the most common, and that would be my preference, but sometimes you might have a whole book, or you might have a chapter in the book. So you see here, chapter in an edited book, that will be more likely the type of chapters you'll have. Click on that. Chapter in an edited book. So I'll show you the format there. So you can use these examples, that website, to give you the model for your references. So as I mentioned before, for each of your 5 articles, the first thing that you do is you list the annotation, list the reference. And then under the reference indented, you're going to have your annotation, which is a summary. So here it says, briefly summarize the article in your own words. So don't cut and paste the abstract from the article. That will be pretty obvious. So summarize the article in your own words. And you can probably use the rough guidance that I gave you for your study review paper. So remember, the study review paper, the first part of that was a summary in your own words. So you can do a similar thing for this. And then after you summarize the article, state in a sentence or two how this article will help you write your paper. So I want you to think, and it's just brief, it's a sentence or two. I want you to think about what is useful from this article. How will this article inform my paper? So you can see from this assignment, not only I want you to read things, but I want you to start thinking about how can you use what you've read to help you develop your paper. And here's the rough rubrics here. So it's highlighted there, so you can see 50% of the grade will be APA style. And what I'll tell you is from past experience, 90% of the points that people lose on this assignment is because of APA style. So definitely look at that website to help you. 25% is the completeness of the summary and in your own words. So basically I want to see that I can see that you read it and you understand it. And then 25% of the points will be for making the links to your own paper. So that last part of your annotation. In case you forgot, here are some abstract examples. This is also in the study review paper part, but I put it here also. I think it's great if you can get empirical studies. I will say it's not a requirement for these articles, but I would strongly suggest having empirical articles as much as you can. If you find a good theoretical article or conceptual article, that's fine. But having an empirical articles for the 5 would be probably the best for you. So that's the summary of the annotation, annotated bibliography. I'm going to put this video on top here to give you the guidance for this assignment.